You've probably met someone like this, someone who can just look at you and know exactly what you're thinking, what you're feeling, but when you try to look back at them, nothing. A complete mystery. Today, we're diving deep into a personality type that thrives in the shadows of emotion, an archetype born not from a desire to connect, but from a raw, primal need to survive.
So think about this paradox for a second. Imagine the most sensitive person you can think of, someone with this almost psychic ability to feel every shift in the room. Now, what if that same person is also the most guarded, an absolute fortress? They can read you like an open book, but they remain an emotional black hole, giving absolutely nothing away. They're a vault, and you'll never get the combination.
And right there, that's the secret to their power. See, it's not that they're cold or that they don't feel. Oh no, it's the exact opposite. They feel everything. They soak it all in, they analyze it, but they've mastered the art of being the calm in the storm. They don't feel any obligation to fix your problems or share in your joy. Their sensitivity isn't for connection. It's for something much darker, much more strategic.
So, what do we call this archetype? It's the Dark Empath. Now, before your mind jumps to some comic book villain, let's be clear. Their goal isn't to hurt people. Not really. Instead, they use their incredible emotional intelligence as a shield, a weapon for navigating a world that, to them, feels like a constant battlefield.
This brings us to their greatest weapon, the emotional radar. It's like a superpower, really, a preemptive defense system. While most of us are busy listening to what people are saying, the Dark Empath is scanning the emotional undercurrent. They're not looking for a friend. They're hunting for threats, for hidden motives, for the slightest hint of manipulation.
Okay, so here's where the difference really snaps into focus. A traditional empath, they use their gift to build bridges, right? They want to connect, to create a shared space. But the Dark Empath, they build fortresses. Their motivation isn't connection, it's information, it's intelligence gathering. The end result isn't a beautiful, vulnerable bond, it's a state of complete and total emotional invulnerability. So how does this whole emotional radar actually work? Well, it's a pretty chilling 4-step process. First, they sense. They just feel out the emotional landscape. Then, they analyze, cutting right through the small talk to see what you really want. Next, they detect. Is there a threat? Is this person trying to play them? And then comes the most important step. They fortify. They take all that data and use it to make their walls even higher, even stronger. They become untouchable. Now, this is absolutely crucial to understand. This is not the toolkit of a predator, it's the armor of a survivor. Seriously, just imagine for a moment you grew up somewhere where showing any emotion, sadness, fear, even happiness, was a weakness that could be used against you. In that kind of world, learning to read people isn't just a neat party trick. It's a life or death survival tactic. So how can you spot this survivor archetype out in the wild? Well, there are some pretty clear signs. They tend to operate in silence. They're the quiet observer in the corner, not the life of the party. They never seem desperate for connection or approval. Why? Because they don't need it. They're too busy reading the room with surgical precision, all while staying completely, and I mean completely, emotionally detached. So what's with this number? 0. What does it represent? Well, that's the amount of emotional validation they offer other people. A big, fat 0. Their emotional energy is a precious resource, and it's reserved exclusively for their own defense. You might call it selfish, but to them, it's just strategy. Giving anything away is a risk they are simply unwilling to take. If you need one image to burn into your mind, let it be this one, the cracking mask. On the outside, they can seem so gentle, so understanding, empathetic even, but it's just a mask. And if you dare to get close enough, you'll start to see the fine cracks in the facade. And what's underneath isn't weakness. It's something cold, hard, and unbreakable. Surgical steel. A strength that was forged in fire, not something they were born with. And all of this leaves us with one final haunting question. This incredible emotional armor protects them from everything the world can throw at them, but does it also imprison them? In building a fortress so powerful that no one can get in, did they accidentally lock themselves inside? And you have to wonder, is total, absolute protection really worth the price of never having a true connection? Something to think about.